Well, hi, Rafferty. Haven't read to you for a wee while. This is one of my favourite books and one of the books the children at the nursery used to love me to read. It's all about a very tall giant, but he's a bit scruffy and he's not got smart clothes, not smart clothes like you wear. But we're going to find out what happens. This is called The Smartest Giant in Town. Look, his long legs here. Look at all the little people and little animals. His name was George. George was a giant, the scruffiest giant in town. He always wore the same pair of old brown sandals and the same old patched up gown. I wish I wasn't the scruffiest giant in town, he said sadly. Look how tall he is, taller than all the houses. These people are as tall as him, but not these people. They're all little. Let's find out. But one day, George noticed a new shop. It was full of smart clothes. Look at him looking through the door. He's got a big nose. He saw a smart shirt, a smart pair of trousers, a smart belt, a smart stripy tie, some smart socks with diamonds up the sides, and a pair of smart shiny shoes. Now I'm going to be the smartest giant in town, he said proudly. And look, so smart with all his clothes. George left his old clothes behind in the shop. He was about to go home when he heard a sound. On the pavement stood a giraffe. Look, he's as tall as a giraffe, who was sniffing sadly. What is the matter? Asked George. It's my neck, said the giraffe. It's so very long and so very cold. I wish I had a long scarf. Oh, cheer up, says George, and he took off his stripy tie. Oh, it didn't match my socks anyway, he said, and he wound it round and round the giraffe's neck. It made a wonderful scarf. Oh, thank you, said the giraffe. Oh, and off George walked. As he strode towards home, he sang to himself, my tie's a scarf for an old giraffe, but look me up and down. I'm the smartest giant in town. George came to a river. On a boat stood a goat who was bleating loudly. What's the matter? Asked George. It's my sail, said the goat. It blew away in a storm. I wish I had a strong new sail for my boat. Oh, cheer up, said George, and he took off his new white shirt. Oh, it kept coming untucked anyway, he said as he tied it to the mast of the goat's boat. It made a magnificent sail. Oh, thank you, said the goat. George strode on, singing to himself, my tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe, my shirt's on a boat, a sail for a goat, but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town. George came to a tiny ruined house. Beside the house stood a white mouse with lots of baby mouse. Oh, they're all squeaking and crying. Oh. What is the matter? Said George. It's our house, squeaked the mother mouse. It burnt down and now we have nowhere to live. I wish we had a new house. Cheer up, said George, took off one of his shiny shoes. It was giving me blisters anyway, he said, as the mouse and her baby scrambled inside. The shoe made a perfect home for them. Thank you, they squeaked. George had to hop along the road now because he's only got one shoe, but he didn't mind. He hopped and he sang to himself, my tie's a scarf for a cold giraffe, my shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat, my shoe is a house for a little white mouse, but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town. George came to a campsite. Beside a tent stood a fox who was crying. What is the matter? Said George. It's my sleeping bag, said the fox. I dropped it in a puddle and it's soaking wet. I wish I had a warm, dry sleeping bag. Oh, cheer up, said George, and took off one of his socks with the diamonds up the side. And the fox snuggled inside it. It made a perfect sleeping bag. Thank you, said the fox. George hopped, singing to himself. My tie's a scarf for a cold giraffe, my shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat, my shoe is a house for a little white mouse, one of my socks is a bed for a fox. but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town. George came to a squelchy bog. Oh, it's all muddy. Beside the bog stood a dog who was howling. What is the matter? Asked George. It's this bog, said the dog. I need to get across, but I keep getting stuck in the mud. I wish there was a safe, dry path. Cheer up, said George, and he took off his smart new belt. Oh, it was squashing my tummy anyway, he said as he laid it down over the bog. It made an excellent path. Oh, thank you, said the dog as he hops about. The wind started to blow, but George didn't mind. He hopped on singing to himself. My tie's a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of my socks is a bed for a fox. My belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog. But, oh, what happened? My trousers keep falling down. I'm the coldest giant in town. Oh my goodness, look at his pants. Suddenly, George felt sad and shivery and not at all smart. He stood on one foot and he thought, I will have to go back to that shop and buy more clothes, he decided. He turned round and hopped all the way back to the shop. That's tricky. Oh. Now George is sad. Like all the animals he met, he is now sad. Oh no, when he got there, it was closed. Oh no, cried George, and he sank down onto the doorstep and had a tear coming down his nose. He felt as sad as all the animals he had met on his way home. Then out the corner of his eye, he saw a bag with something familiar poking out of it. George took a closer look. My gown, he yelled. My dear old gown and sandals. George put them back on. They felt wonderfully comfortable. I am the cosiest giant in town, he cried, and he danced back home along the road. Well, outside his front door stood all the animals that he helped. They were carrying an enormous present. Look, it's come in a big box. Come on, George, open it. George untied the ribbon. Inside was a beautiful gold paper crown and a card, and it says, to George. Look inside the card, George, said the animals. George put the crown on his head and he opened the card. And look, they have all drawn pictures of themselves on this card, and it says, your tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. Your shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. Your shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of your socks is a bed for a fox. Your belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog. So here is a very fine crown to go with the sandals and gown, because you are the kindest giant in town. Wasn't that lovely? He started off with all his scruffy clothes, gave all his nice clothes away, and then he was very happy because he had helped all his friends. I hope you enjoyed that story, Raffi and Sienna. See you soon.